So guys, there's a post that I just did yesterday, I think, maybe just over yesterday, and it's on the Twitter, the Black Sheep Researcher, and it's talking about mental health. Now it's been weighing on my mind since this, and I think I needed to do this video. So I talk about mental health in the community weighs heavily on my mind. Us channel creators forget the power and position we find ourselves in, whether it's 10 or 1,000 subscribers. I feel some creators play on the subscribers' mental health, not just for monetary gain, but to feed the ego and so much more. So I want to get into this now. It's not just all about this, it's in mental health in general and a few other things, and let's see how it goes. Hello and welcome to the Black Sheep Researcher. So guys, a big, huge talking point topic today on this video. No fancy intros, nothing like that. No, oh, I'm going to show you this and this. I wanted to talk about mental health. Now, I showed you the brief comment post that I made on Twitter on the Black Sheep Researcher channel, and I just wanted to know what people's thoughts on mental health in the community. I've done various things on mental health in the community in regard to this, because a few years ago when we was all on lockdown, I did a video and I basically invited people who were new all around the world, asking them how their mental health, how they're coping with being locked down. And that was a fascinating video for me. And now I'm seeing basically a huge rise in content creators and how I feel they're treating people with mental health who follow them. And I believe they're basically being used to monetary ways, but also egotistical, like a narcissist, to feeding off the energy, the control that they have over people, and making these people do stupid shit and go out, be like acolytes or a cult type mentality. Now, you could think, Paul, are you being a bit too hard? Surely if you are going onto someone's page, you have to take responsible for your own actions. And yes, you do. And that's why, like I said, I'm very open about this. Do you think I'm being a bit too harsh? Is the responsibility on the person who is logging onto channels, seeing content, oh, I like this, I like that, or are they being groomed like a cult type of mentality? And that's what I'm being honest about in this video, because I'm seeing a lot of people, like sometimes when I do get out and go onto channels and looking and seeing what message they're trying to get out, I see people you can tell people with mental health how they're acting and talking in chats. Sure, well, I think I can notice it, and I see how people who treat me in the community, and also trolls. Now, I do good compared to other channels. Maybe that's just how I come across, but you still get the people who scream crazy, ridiculous thoughts towards you, and you're like, what are you seeing to get to this? I know who I am, but where are you getting across this? Is it just an egotistical thing because I've got more followers than you, or is it a mental health issue? And that's why I always say, do we have a duty of care? Like when I say on my channel, this is not meant to be taken as facts, it's just information that when I'm looking to a topic, if I find something, I'll post it and show you the process. But there's channels out there that are using people's frailty, whether it's mental or anything else, or dependency, and using them as monetary gain, and also a cult-like following, and the mental health is dwindling. And when we look at this, we're looking at topics that the people who are not in the community class as a conspiracy. You can call them realists and different things, but are we feeding into that? And like I said, I'm not here preaching that I'm better than anyone and I've not done this. We've all done it in our career as such, in our life on social media, until you learn the correct way. I mean, I've not really trolled anyone, but I would probably have done troll-like actions, and I've just realised it isn't the way to go. And a long time ago, I used to make memes. I still make the odd meme, but I used to make memes and used to ridicule the Elites, or the Elshites as I call them. And someone was saying, Paul, you're a bit too harsh. They are so-called human. And it got me thinking, am I right to do what I'm doing? Are we using what is classed as truth as a shield and an excuse to treat people badly? And it's weighed heavily on me because I can see both points. I always like devil advocates, and I judge and I compare and I look and I think, sometimes my behaviour in that situation isn't good. And I come to the conclusion, if we want to change people's minds in the sense of show them a different side to what is going on in this reality. Remember, everything that we see changes constantly on the information that we gather and we see. So if you see something, it automatically changes how this realm looks to you. So it's like I've talked about, is it like a tulpamancy, where we think of things and the world creates and it becomes a living thing. And we use truth as an excuse. And now my research into the word truth, the spell of it, truth does not mean what we think it does. And that's not just me doing my little breaking up of words and how it seems to offend everyone that I'm breaking words up. A spell is a spell. That's why they call it spelling. So they hide things in spell, either whole words or half words. It's funny that when I break words up into 2s and 3s, it shows you something hidden that they don't want to see. Yet people get triggered because trigger is an emotional response. But it's also part of the indoctrination process. We're all indoctrinated and we all get triggered over things. And when you start to talk about religion and politics, you can see how heated it gets. And violent, because when people believe they're doing something in God's name or in the name of truth, it's like, I can do whatever I want. Well, don't forget that the so-called elites are doing the same. They're believing they're doing something right. And that's the problem. If you're always doing something you believe in is right, who's the person to judge and say what is right and wrong? Now, I'm going to include a clip now from a video that I did on The Thinking Man about truth. It's called Truth in Sheep's Clothing, because the word truth doesn't mean what you are fighting for. And it's not me doing my little thing and waking up. You just type it in and see the etymology of the word truth. So you go into town and you being a nasty piece of work because you're doing it in the name of truth. Truth hurts. It doesn't hurt. How you cast that spell, how you show the truth, the method that you show it, that's what hurts. Not the truth. Truth does not exist as we know it. And there's no way of getting around it, because you can just go. I'll show you now. So coming up now is the clip from that video, Truth in Sheep's Clothing. Right, so in this video we are looking at the
truth.
The truth, and what I think it is and what everyone else think it is. What is the
truth?
You can't handle the
truth.
We've seen it all before. We've seen it in films. It's brainwashed into us. The truth. Yet it's not what we believe it to be. In this video, I'm going to get even more deeper into that subject quite quickly, because obviously I'm on my back up and I like to do shorter videos on here. But I've talked about the truth in so many videos. I'm going to bring that all together with some new stuff, and it's going to blow your minds. So let's just have a look at what they say the
truth
is. The quality or state of being true. He had to accept the truth of her accusation. That which is true or in accordance with fact or reality. A fact, and here we go, deciding to change what they're saying, and this is just on the definition. We'll go into the etymology and it's completely different. A fact or belief that is accepted as true. Well, that is a lot of things. It's all accepted as true because someone told it is. The emergence of scientific truths. So you can just say they start off the quality of being, the state of being true, that which is true and in accordance with facts, and then at the end it's like a fact or belief that is accepted as true. Basically telling you they're lying, and I'm just showing you the etymology. If people don't like it, it's your problem. I'm just showing you what I found. You guys can go out and do what I do. It's not hard. Origin, trioth, the oath. It's an oath, true, truth, trioth, faithfulness. See, this is when we start getting into the etymology of the word. Old English, trioth, theoth, faithfulness, constancy, faithfulness. You have faith that it is true. So you start getting into it, and I'm going to show you so much more that I've been, you guys who've been with me for a long time know what I've been banging on about why the truth triggers a lot of people, because it's personal. So we're on truth now. I'm going to carry on just showing you different aspects of it, and we're starting getting down to the bones of it now. Old English, treo, West Saxon, treo, Mercian, faith. So truth is faith. It isn't what we know it to be. Faith, faithfulness, fidelity, loyalty, veracity, quality of being true, pledge, covenant. We're living in a world of spells, guys. It's a covenant, it's a pledge. From Germanic abstract noun trewetho, from Proto-European or Germanic trewaz, having or characterized by good faith. From pi, druo, a suffix from the root deru, be firm, solid, steadfast, with Germanic abstract noun suffix itho, the. Sense of something that is true is first recorded mid-14th century. Again, why is everything from this great vow to L shift? Because that's the greatest reset. None of these truthers or others, see, truthers, these channels, they call themselves truthers. There's no such thing as truth. It's faith. It's a pledge. It's a covenant. Who to? Well, I'm going to show you that next. But just look. To speak the truth as a contrast to the lie. When you look at it like this, it blows your mind. What we've been told is the truth has been weaponized. And that's why I want to make this video, just to show people what we're actually, when people say they're fighting for the truth, it's funny how you're always fighting for the truth. Or you can murder someone because it's in the name of the truth. You can go to war. You can hurt people because you are doing it in the name of truth. Why does truth have to hurt? I've always talked about this, and you can see Daru, be firm, solid, steadfast. Faith, faithfulness, fidelity. There's a clue in that, and I'm going to show you now. And it is the goddess Fides. The Roman goddess Fides, Latin Fides Fides, was a goddess of trust, faithfulness, and good faith. Remember that term, bona fide?
It's bona fide. He's a suitor.
That is to Goddess Fides. She was one of the original virtues to be considered a natural religious divinity. Now, if you're looking at the name Fides, you will also see confidence Fides. It's right in the middle. The Roman goddess Fides is a personification of an idea that itself is secular. The idea of confidence Fides. It's just showing you that it's not truth. It's confidence. It's faithfulness. It's fidelity. You're worshipping the goddess Fides. It's not, this is the truth. You're honouring, you're spell casting for a Roman goddess called Fides. You saw that video. Ta-da. And you can see my point. All to do with Fides, fidelity, pledge, covenant. But it's basically faith. So you're having faith that what you're looking is fact or truth. You look at the essence, you look at fact, is truth fact? And you'll see it's not. Fact can contain some truths. It's not essentially that. So it's a mind blower. So what we've always fighting for, because you believe it to be true, there's no such word. You can see. Isn't that not something to go, And that's what's always puzzled me, and how I've treated people. When we're looking at something, it's how you perceive it. So that is just like basically truth. You having faith that whatever you've been told or you've researched is the truth. But that word truth does not exist. It's confidence, Fides. You're confident that this covenant that you researched will reveal how the world is. But remember, how you see this world is different to how I see this world. Now, who is right or wrong? Because you get people say, oh, well, I speak to angels. I have premonitions. When I go on the astral plane, the leprechaun that comes with me on my journey is twisting my nipple 3 times. And when he does that, it's 100% accurate. No one else is right but me. How would you work with things like that? Because we get people, I've seen it. I get told this all the time in things. Oh, well, I did this and this, and I'm never right. Well, if your intuition is never wrong, and my intuition is never wrong, and your intuition is never wrong, but they're all different, you see what I'm trying to get at? Then people are going to war and killing people over the name of God, the faith of the religion, the faith of the so-called conspiracy, the topic that they love to research. And it ain't what you think it is. And does this affect mental health? It's crazy to think about it. And it's changed how I look and research and how I try to put my things, because am I just blowing things out of all proportion? Like I said, is it up to people's responsibility to take their actions in their own hands? But then again, if people have mental health issues and going to certain channels and people are saying stuff and using it and intentionally using it to get into people's minds, so they become followers in a cult-like type mentality, is that then not up to the creator? They're playing it for monetary gain and energy gains. So there's no right or wrong. But what I'm tired of is people using the truth to get what they want. Because it's the truth. That means it's A-OK to treat you disgustingly. Because the truth hurts. I don't believe it is. Again, is that just my perception? Am I trying to put my models onto everyone? And that's what I try and look at. Because if you're being honest, we all have different sets of the scales. And if we judge people on how we are you'd have no friends or very little interactivity, because if you hold things into that much, your morality, and someone comes along and they don't match it and you discard them, you'd have no friends. Maybe that's what you want. It's like I've always said though, there's a little difference. If you invite someone into your house, that's a different matter. You're inviting content creators, you're inviting people into your own house. So when you bring someone into your own house, you have a duty of care over that person, whether it's right or wrong. It's like the so-called celebrities and sports people and different things. If you become a public figure, which we are, whether it's one subscriber, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, 200,000, whatever, surely we have a duty of care over people that are entering our domain. It's our house. And if you see me treating and talking to people and belittling them, you then think that's okay, because you're like, you know what, I respect Paul, but he does that, so that must mean it's okay. Can you see where I am trying to go with this video? And it's always bugged me when I go into other people's content and they talk to people, but they're fine with me. It's like, do you have to stand up and threat to lose friends, or are you just putting your scales, your morality, your values onto other people, and is that right? And again, who is the judge? Again, you know what I mean? Who is the judge to say what is the basic way to treat people? I was always taught you treat people how you want to be treated, but some people are sadistic and like to be treated like crap. You know what I mean? So there's no way, there's no right and there's no wrong. But I do believe mental health in the community is worse than what is outside of the community. Not just with the topics that we post, I call doom and gloom. And I've known a lot of people who talk to me and the mental health has been ravaged and they find it very hard to live. And they say to me, Paul, what can I do to get out of this? And I said, listen, you have to get away from swimming in the turd, in a turd infested sinkhole. And if you just constantly watching doom and gloom channels that are promoting the world is nigh, it's gonna mess with your head. And think about it, how many dark winters have we had? The world is still here. Even people were talking about the Northern Lights as is going to fry all the electrics and that's the end of the world. These people need to stop, because you're not going to be happy until the world. What are you going to do when the world ends? You're going to go around, you can't get talked to on YouTube and go, I told you so. I'm not going to be sat at home half dead or whatever happens in this realm and say, you know what, that channel said it and they were right. Because there's no one. So, and if we do live in a realm where we manifest what we're talking about, surely if we're talking about doom and gloom shit all the time, we're feeding the beast, we're feeding the ley lines, we're feeding the system, the AI, the simulation, whatever you want to call it. Are we not feeding that with the negative energy? Because we always talk about we need both. We need both the duality of happy and negative, dark and light. We can't have one overpowering the other. But it seems to me that people in the community are using the mental health to their gain. I see a lot of bullying. I can't stand for bullies. I will stand up for anyone. But there's there's always a fine line, especially when I do topics. That's why I don't do many of the so-called false flag type of things, because I've noticed the mentality of people who follow and do that things is bad. You know what I mean? The doom and gloom, how you look at this world. I'm not one to love and light. I'm walking around and so happy, because life's hard. I found life very hard at the minute. I've done for a long time. I struggle because of what I have to do constantly on a 24/7 basis. And then I used to make content when I had any free time. So I didn't have any me time. It was what I was doing, and I went straight to content creating. I wasn't having a life. In between, I wasn't trying to enjoy life because I felt guilty that people were not getting content. And you have to learn there's a balance between doing anything, but you got to put your family first. Now, I always think of that when you have to put your family first. Is that, what's the type of mentality? Is that wrong to put your family first? We're not all family. And we have to do our bit. But when do you get enough time in the day? So this is me trying to do my little bit. No, I'm not pleading with anyone, but if you think about it, if you're constantly at war and you know, it's no good for your mentality, because I've noticed a lot of channels, basically it's re videos. Basically one channel is attacking another channel, so they then have to do a re video on that attacking and them, and so on and so on, and you're constantly like that. Now what if you broke the chain and just concentrated on your shit and your life? Or is these people's mental health that much? They need this, need to create animosity, they want to create friction. The community, I call it, is a con, because it's full of factions, it's full of cliques, and all these cliques and factions stick together. It's how I created the channel in the first place, the Black Sheep, because I was ridiculed for having theories different, and the so-called leaders of that community. The leaders in the community, to me, are a joke. They're in it completely for money. Now, there's no harm if you want to make money in a community. I've said that various times. If you're just honest about it, I am here to make money, but also topics intrigue me. But I'm here to make money. All that's my main goal. You're telling it straight, and that's how it is. And people hide behind, oh well, I'm just doing it because of love for it and blah. And you can see they're after money because everything's behind a paywall, and throwing the money issue at you all the time, crying that the computer's broke, and you have to set GoFunds up. And it's like, my computer's that old, it takes an hour to turn on. I don't want to go. I want to eventually get my own computer with my own money, because life is hard. But if people do that, fine. Again, am I putting my moral standpoint on things? People know how long it took for me to get a buy me a coffee on this channel, because I felt wrong doing it. I felt that, we should what we thought was the truth should be free. We should, able to see content that enlightens us. Don't know if you class mine though now. Topics that enlighten you and help you in this reality. It shouldn't be behind a paywall. It should be free, because then it's like it's the mental health problem. People are sitting at home thinking, you know what, I love their content, but I can't watch it, I can't afford it. But how do I see it? And people are having to give up things to go for the stuff hidden behind paywalls because they want to. Now that's fair enough. You could say, well, that's fair enough. If you want stuff and it's behind a paywall, you pay for it. If you don't, it's there. But do you not feel that these channels are playing on this mentality and people's mental health, so they do this? Or am I just talking bollards, as I say? So again, I'm not against anyone making money, because it's hard work. But don't hide behind it. Don't hide behind the truth. Just be honest, because people will distract all these channels. So this is an ongoing issue with mental health. Now, a lot of people might have mental health watching my channel, and I try to make myself a bit more positive and just show you the information. I try and have a laugh in it. Sometimes I will have a rant because I don't get a chance to talk to many people. So me talking now is me having a release. So sometimes the content may be, it's a bit down, but I believe this is a big issue. And when people are constantly at war, making these videos is sucking people in. Each side have their own acolytes because they feed into it. When you start to watch a channel, oh, that's good, I like that, and then you watch it a bit more, and then you learn a bit more about me, and then you learn and learn and learn, and you become friends, a part of the family. So if you then see people ridiculing me, you defend me. And this is what happening is. You're having people attacking each other that believe their side is right because they're doing the truth. He's dropping the truth bombs. Guys, truth is not what you fucking believe it to be. So you are going to war, you are treating another human like dirt because you think, or you thought, you were fighting for the right. Because your content creator is dropping the truth bombs. It's proven. The spell, truth, is not what you can look at it and you can change it whatever you want. I've showed you in this video, you go and do your own research on the truth. I've had people writing books on the truth, trolling me because they didn't like what I found. Well, it's there. You can search engine it, you can look into it, and it's fact, belief, accepted, faithfulness, faith, fidelity. Fides. It's a pledge, it's a covenant. It's a root. The root of a word. Where's the root of the word? It's in the ground. Where the ground, the ley lines. So can words be influenced by spells and energy? Again, what I was talking about in the last video. Energy good or bad, or is it the wand? Or is it the magician, the magic that teach that wand? And this is what's happening. People are falling into a trap of the truth. Remember, I've always used that analogy on my channel. Spell truth in your head, Truth. In the middle is you. So that's why, because it's faith. Now, when faith is involved, again, faith in your religion, faith in your topic, faith in what you believe to be fact and truth, you will fight for it. And this is my point. When you are in that position, you want to fight because you believe it's truth. You will give and you will die for it. And again, people are doing this and thinking about this in a mental health way. So if these people are not well, mental health wise, and they are fighting for something they believe it to be truth, and they are like talking to me, ridiculing me, trolling me, cursing me with spell casting words. And why are you doing it? Because you think you were doing it for the truth. And these content creators are playing on it. That is just my opinion. I've never told anyone to not watch a channel. I believe we have to learn ourselves. But like anything in life, who's going to stand up for each other? Or is that wrong? Is that like a government controlling? That is why when I do my videos, I don't try and put a clear message. I let you guys set the information and make of it what you see. Because I don't believe in controlling the minds of what people think. I never restrict anyone. I don't say, hey, you don't go and watch that channel because I don't like who they are. But think about it when you're talking in politics. If I said to you that politician was a fiddler on the roof with little kids, taking drugs, so on and so on and so on, would you support that politician? And then you will have people, oh well, politics is a joke, there's no point in you voting. And then you get them two butting heads. Same with religion, same with any topic. You get people nay and yay for that. But you wouldn't trust a politician, would you? Even if you're heavily into that scene, you know politicians lie. So what's the same? Content creators are like politicians in a way. We have egos. I've held my hand up. Do we lie? Is it a mistake when we promote anything? Again, that's down to the reality we're looking. If I see something and I see it looks like that, is that a lie? If you then look into etymology, I did etymology on the end of that truth video where I reversed lies, and it spelled sales, and sales meant happiness, and it was good. And I'm like, no way. So you can see what I'm getting at from this video. Like I said, I've talked to people when we was in lockdown on the mental health, because it affects us. We feel marginalised. We feel vindicted against. We feel bombarded. We feel at war. Now, you can see, I could go into any channels on any platform and see people and go, how are they still walking if they believe in all that shit? No wonder they're attacking left, right and centre. Now people are up to do, because then I then don't go onto that platform if I feel it's too negative. But you don't see me posting saying do not go onto that side. I believe we have to find out for ourselves. But surely me doing this video is counterproductive in the sense of I'm trying to tell people to do this and this and this. I'm not. I just want to highlight that we have a duty of care, because we're inviting people to guess, you know. And if we're inviting someone into our own house, like I'm inviting you, saying, hey, look at this topic this week, and you see me treating someone that's not good, but because I'm saying it's in the name of truth, it's allowed. When is it allowed to treat another human being like shit? Are we not no different than them? And that's why I was getting at when I used to make memes ridiculing them. Are we not better than them? Or is there so-called... I was under depression, and I was told by people who used to defend me, you're okay, Paul, we're fighting a war. It's okay to do that. And again, that's my point. The faith in it. But you believe that you're doing this for good. So anything goes. Are we then not better than them? Are we screwed? You know, is there a limit where we should not cross? And again, it comes down to this. If people believe truth to be what it is, it's the faith. It's what makes you triggered. If I said a topic, if I just come out and said, right, that channel, I don't like them because blah, 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 and lay it all out, and if I see it's so obvious, and I'm like, well, why do you not see it? Because people have put time, effort, and their faith into channels. So when I come along, and I'm just using me as an example, start attacking that channel, they're like, whoa, where did this come from? It's not normally like Paul. What's up with Paul? And you either think, well, he has a point there, and then you start attacking the channel you thought was, or again, it's like a score. Oh, well, I love Paul, he's the best channel on here. And then you see me attacking content creators, and you're like, he's doing it in the name of truth, so there must be something to it. Paul won't just attack anyone out of pure rage or ego. There has to be something, so it must be right. So you take my side, and then you start attacking that channel. And this is the vicious cycle that we're in. When does it end? If, again, I've always said it in the video, if you class yourself as a decent truther as such, and you research, you know how deadly and evil spells are, and casting curses and ridiculing people is, you wouldn't do it. And people tell themselves every night that we're doing it in the name of truth. Well, you're not, because look at the etymology of that spell. It ain't what you think it is. You know, it's like in religion. How many wars have been waged on religion? And at the heart of each religion is, thou shalt not kill. Well, people are doing it. Again, I did a quote years and years ago. People who, basically, I'm paraphrasing now, so people who think they're enlightened, they're the most deadly people on the planet. Because you believe in a cause, and you believe what you're doing is right. So then you negate things that you wouldn't normally do as a person. And it's true. So you're having people who have mental health issues coming into your channel, taking up your mantra, and then going around and creating havoc in your name and in the name of truth. I mean, you look at the word faith and it talks about concepts of trust, confidence and persuasion. So you're persuading people to change their morals or how they want to treat people. Again, it comes back to that post. Is it up to us? Do we have to put a disclaimer on anything? Because sometimes people think, well, why are you saying this, Paul? It's obvious, you don't believe in this, you're just showing what you find. And again, sometimes I have to be so damn basic and people still don't see it. And you get trolled for it and you get ridiculed for it. It's like why I don't do many, like I used to love interviewing people on a channel and I was just getting so trolled, oh well this person does this and this person this, why are you doing them? It's like I'm just interviewing people in the community. I'm not best friends, I don't believe in what they do, I just want to interview people and get their perspective on what they look at. So I stopped doing that because I was just getting ridiculed all the time. It's like people are controlling how you do it, and this is what this video is. I don't want to be seen or Paul's whinging and talking about this. I believe in mental health. A lot of people suffer it. I believe I probably suffer from it, what I have to go through. And days, you can see how many times I talk to people who I talk to all the time. When is enough? When, because the things that I get recalled, and I get let off a lot compared to a lot of people. It's like, how do you even wake up to call and treat someone like that? And again, people think they're doing it for the right, and you can't beat it because they've been brainwashed. They're in a cult, and it doesn't have to be a group thing. It could be the cult mentality. What you're doing, you believe is so right because the Lord says so. What about when they say don't treat thy neighbour badly or murder it doesn't matter, I'm doing it in the name. It's got to be right. And this is what's happening in the community. People are just being drawn in with mental health issues and creating mockery. So you got to think as yourself, am I okay doing the content I do? Or if you're doing these type of videos where you're attacking another channel because you believe it to be truth, where is the middle ground? Are you not better using your energy? And you might be right. I might think you're right. But where is it going to get you? There's a lot of smart people out there wasting the time doing these things. But again, that's me. Am I betraying my morals on other channels? Again, is this video basically talking about me trying to persuade you into doing this, and this? Or do I have a valid point? Is the mental health in the community horrific? I saw some studies to say it is. But again, we get marginalised by people not in the community. And when we post what we believe to be truth and all these topics, we then talk to people. You wouldn't talk to people in real life how you talk to people online. The amount of people who follow me and I see them talking to other people like shit, and wow, I didn't think you were like that. Where's the right and there's wrong? Is there no such thing? If you're fighting what you perceive to be evil, is it no holds barred? But then are you not what you are fighting for? And that's my point. Surely we have to come together to show people, to make them aware of what is happening in this world. But you got to think on that is when we show someone how it is in this world, we are showing it for our standpoint of view, how you were brought up and what topic it takes your interest that you're showing people. It's like my Janos research. I don't just do that, but I am trying to show people, like, hey, this is their God. Well, how do you know he's their God? Well, there's prayers and there's ancient texts saying that. I know, and sometimes I feel, should I do these topics? Should I do these videos? Because it's a fine line. Again, everything, there's a fine line. And do we step over? And that's what I always get in my head, guys. And I just need your help from this. Do you believe what I'm trying to get in the video is correct? Or am I so far gone? It's like, no, Paul, you can't put your morals onto other channels. But is there not basic morals? But again, who says there's basic? Again, it's that governance type of thing. Government, and people talk about mind control. What are you trying to control? And I just see a lot of people falling down the rabbit hole, and they're losing who and what they are, and they're coming out with crap out their mouths, like the doom and gloom stuff. So what I'm trying to get is this right for us? Do we have to stand up for people? But then who stands up for me? Or is it because all content, basically, if you want to go on this channel, you're accepting what these people are talking about? Is that the way to go? When you first click on a channel on any YouTube platform or the others, streaming sites, and you come up with over 18s, blah blah, whatever your thoughts and thinks on, you're now stepping into someone's domain, and is all the responsibility on your shoulders? Or is it because, like I was talking about in my analogy, you were coming into my house, surely what I say would influence you? Again, you're in that right, what is right and what is wrong. But this mental health, a lot of people do need help. And where do we get it from? You know what I mean? You can't say anything, well, I'm not promoting this and I'm not promoting that. I'm just stumped, and I'm just seeing people taken for a ride, and it hurts me that not what I would normally do is, if I see people bullying, I would step into there. But then, are you stepping over the mark? Again, should you be able to go to someone and say, listen, that's wrong? And I have said that in the past. I've lost friends over it when I've seen something happen, really good friends, and you miss them. I miss people I used to get on really, really, real well, but they stepped over at one of my models, and I just cut ties because I believe it's wrong. But again, was I wrong? Am I wrong to have that, to make everyone, comes into contact with me? It's just strange. Sometimes I feel like you should, if you want to be forgiven, you should be able to forgive. I ain't perfect. I don't pretend to be. And there's not enough of us about that seem to have our mental health in check. Or is the mental health just a byproduct of looking into these topics? Because you're looking into curses, you're looking into things that break the psyche down. And we all have mental health, some issues. So we are basically feeding the system. I just don't know, guys. It is a topic that is close to my heart. And at the core of it is your faith in something to be 100% correct. I mean, if I said to people now and if you believe 100%, you had faith. Well, it is. That's why that's why the truth hurts, because you're attacking your faith, and people will become violent and aggressive and triggered when they feel their faith is being attacked. So faith is not just religion. It's what is classed as truth. It's there in the spell. That's why people get aggressive. I see it all the time on all platforms. People mocking people in, not in the community. Call, I mean, what word? I just say not in the community because you can call them normals or whatever. You're attacking people. You're becoming what you set out to protect. And that's what I just can't get my head around sometimes. If we're are being ridiculed and mocked and abused, why are we then going out and ridicule and mocking them? Is it because, will they do it to us, are we allowed to do it to them? Things never end, and we're in a vicious cycle. And sometimes, is it better to cut it off and not focus your energy on that? And then would that person go to another person, but would they stop? Or if we show a better example, is it right for me to say we should, as content creators, show a better example? I believe people who subscribe should also show a better example, because sometimes I've just watched people who are on my channel on other channels. I'm like, can anyone get on the bad side of them? Can anyone go into town? I'm like, why are you talking to these people? Why is it become okay to talk to another human being just because they believe different from you? And that's the crux of the problem. We're at the crossroads, and everywhere we can go is fucked, and you just try and take the path of least resistance. It's so hard, but surely we do have a duty of care. And how, if I started coming out and ridiculing channels and mocking them and using my my platform, surely that's wrong. Or is it allowed? If you say, guys, you come into my channel, I have extreme views, blah blah, is that okay? Or still people want to be a part of the club? Again, that's mental health problems as well. People just want to be in a group, want to feel safety in numbers. And that, again, I have to keep coming back to this. When you then attack groups or attacking a channel because they don't fit your mentality, it's wrong. But you then say to me, Paul, this and this and this and this. When is enough? And again, that is that issue. We all have that no-go. Mine's, I hate people in regard to paedophilia because I have children. That's my limit. If anyone's connected to that, blah blah, that type of crime, is a no-go for me. And then when I'm seeing people who are, respect, to come on my channel and treat me with respect, and I'm seeing them following people of that ilk or other types of sexual crime, I'm like, would you wouldn't follow anyone in the street if I say I did this and this, and I'm talking about this. Oh well, even the liars, they have to show you some truth, or they're coming up with so much truth bombs it's worth ignoring past crimes. Who am I to judge? This is something I struggle with all the time. People do deserve second chances, but we all have. It doesn't matter what we say. Yes. Everyone deserves second chance, but certain crimes people will have no second chances for that. Is that right or wrong? Who are we to judge that? Again, that's the crux of the problem. That again affects mental health. I just struggle. Like I said, I've lost so many people over the last couple of years. People that I cared about, and it gets me emotional. And I believe that we have to do more. I wish I could do more, but I'm literally I'm running on fumes. And I'm glad I've taken a little bit of a step back and tried to start looking after myself, because I wouldn't be here, because I'm just so exhausted. But there's people worse than me, and then mentality is also worse than me, and they're going into these groups, and it hurts me that I can't stand up for them. So, am I trying to protect everyone? I think that's what I try and do sometimes. I try and protect people on every platform, and that's got me nowhere but my mental health. You can't save everyone. It's just the way I've been brought up by my mother. If you see someone getting hurt, stand in, and if you're able, there's that famous quote in it: if good people let things happen, you're not a good person, basically. Again, we're letting things happen on YouTube because we believe in content creators are dropping truth bombs. I've talked about the truth not being what truth is for years, and it doesn't seem to have any effect on people. So you're fighting other channels, creating mental health in yourself because you believe they're dropping truth bombs, but there's no such thing as truth. You can go and research it yourself, type it in, do all the research. You'll just come to the same place I've came. There's no such thing as truth. That word, truth. And that's the thing, that's the wow of it. How many people have we lost because what we think is truth and right? Like I said, I've lost friends. You know what I mean? And it's a case of, was I right to have this moral? Is there right and wrong? Or is everything a go because we're fighting the elites, we're at war? And it's like at war, that mentality of rules of engagement. Do we have a rules of engagement, or like I have seen, because people are at war with each other, they have no rules of engagement have been ripped up and anything to go? I just don't know, guys, and I just don't know how we can help and fix this. This mentality that we seem to have towards each other. People ridicule me for wearing different types of t-shirt, different colours of the t-shirt. I scratch my nose, I touch my shoulder, I talk with my hands, and if I do certain hand gestures, I am them. You screw whatever type of mentality, because it's like, really, guys, you really think I'm this, this and this and this, and I'm struggling my ass off doing what I am. At least I will hopefully have somewhere better to live if I'm coining it in. It's so ridiculous. And again, this is what's happening. People are doing things because they think it's right. And am I right to say, listen, that's not right? Who am I to judge? Again, that's the point of this video also. Am I right to, should I just keep my gob shut? And that's where I've been. But I'm fighting that every day because I see people being bullied. I see people being affected by mental health. And it's like, I'm trying to, it's, Paul, stick to yourself. It's why my channel doesn't grow. Because I don't form a clique with any huge, how many times have you heard my name being shouted out on other channels? You'd only see it on maybe 2 or 3 that I've appeared on. I create a problem because I want people to think for themselves. I want them to take their own path. Now, if your own path is going to the channel, fair enough. And again, am I right to do that? There's no right or wrong, it seems, but you're not going to win anyway. And that's why I just came to the conclusion, I'm just going to stick to myself. I'm not going to mix. I'm not going to go on too many channels because I don't want the drama. I don't want to is there a line to step over? What right have I to tell other content creators what to do and how to do the things? I've not really, have I? So that's the point now, and I'm trying to get, and I just don't know how the community can come together if we do not stand up, because we have to lead by example. I want people to just know, yeah, Paul's a straight shooter. I have ego. I'm jealous of other channels who have huge followings, and I see my content is better than theirs. That's the ego talking. But we have to just hold our. We have to have it in chain. We have to monitor it. Any emotion, we have to monitor it. And this is why I just believe we should say to ourselves, am I right going down this path? People can make money, but you don't have to play on the frailty of people's minds. And again, when I see bullies, I was always taught to stick up for bullies. And sometimes I'm getting to the fact where if I step involved, I get basically annulled as a channel and gone. And is that right? But I can't stand back, so I'm screwed. I just don't know, guys, what to do and how we can help the channel. Is it, do we, like I'm trying to get out in the video, do we just, hey, we have to stand up and be honest and try and show people what we research is just how we see this reality, and it's not to be taken as fact, it's not to be making as truth, but what is the truth? Because you've seen it etymologically. There may be another word that best describes it. Probably is. Probably can't think of it off by hand. But I do believe when you invite someone into your own house, it's like if I invite you into my house, I wouldn't start beating you with a stick. Would you? I wouldn't invite you into my house and start fucking calling and swearing at you. Because you invited me out, you're my guest. And it's why when I have premieres, and I'm like, well, I wish, people do get emotional in the chat. They're good on the whole, 99% of the time, but some people do step over the mark. But you are also a guest in my house. So in real life, would you just go to someone else's house and start talking to people like shit in the house? Maybe that's what's wrong with this place. I just don't know. So I just want to leave that with you, and I want to tell people who are having mental problems, you're not alone. Please go out there. This is not me. I'm not a psychologist. Just seek help where you can. Talk to someone if you can. You're not alone out there. And, it's hard. But we all have to keep up fighting in our own way. And I'm trying to do that by making content like I do, and also every now and again topics like this that some people may not like, but I feel it has to be said. And again, this is just me on my platform. Surely I'm allowed to put whatever content I want on that. And again, is that right? Oh, it's just a tongue twister, isn't it? So hopefully everyone's okay, they're staying safe, they're living life, they're enjoying life. Hopefully you're enjoying my content. Please like, share and subscribe. It really does help to beat the algos. And please, just like I said, do one good deed a day. Treat people. We have to break the cycle. We do. We have to break the cycle. So hopefully everyone stays well. Hopefully you're not too down after this topic, but I felt it had to be said, because who is watching out for us? Surely it's just ourselves. We can only help ourselves. And that's what I had to do. If I wanted to help people, I'd have to help myself first. So if we all help ourselves, treat people better, maybe things would change in the community. Maybe you can say they're being infiltrated by shills, and that's another thing that gets thrown about. Calling someone a shill and trolling the fuck out of them, how they're going to affect them mentally. Because it's hard. When you start getting trolled, you're like, you can't have a laugh, you can't do this, you can't do that. Whatever you do, it's very, very hard. So stay safe out there, guys. Just do one good deed a day and look after yourself. Take care. Bye.